Splitly is the tool we use for A/B testing. Um, Practically, what it does is parang at the end of each day. So let's look at. I guess this one is the most relevant for our topic now since siya yung gusto ko i-A/B test ngayon. At then, what it
Pwede
happens,
paliwanagin.
yeah, that's it. What happens here is that una muna you configure it. So you give it. This is the configuration. Dadaanan mo natin siya later. Pero
Anong product yun?
this one is yung this product right? This one.
So, meron siyang product list muna, Splitly.
Yeah, so what it does is that it extracts all of your products in Amazon and parang i-list para it gives you a faster way to test things out. Okay? So afterwards, if you identify kung ano yung gusto mong i-test, you go here, you parang input the kind of test, parang name and everything. And then you tell him, una muna, set mo yung significance. So meaning na how accurate do you want your test to be. Significance level, that means na at the end of each day kasi what it does is that yung papalitan mo, for 24 hours, isa-set niya yun. And then kinabukasan, yung next variation mo, isa-set niya. And then on a daily basis, parang back and forth siya doon until it's able to see kung ano yung...
Sir, bali dalawa kasi yung resibo yung kanina ginawa
Yung
na
sa
nila ng punch nila. And then, yung deep brisket mo doon po kasi na punta sa kabilang table. Yun ang bayaran po nila, sir. So, okay lang po, sir. Ano ko na lang.
Anong, hindi ko maintindihan.
Ayan, sir.
Yung brisket,
Opo.
So, we won't pay or we will pay? What do you mean na
na
Parang nabayaran yung kabilang table, parang tas binalik ko po.
Okay.
Masya-short po ako kung hindi natin.
Sige,
Kaya
no
hindi ko
problem.
na po na-punch. Hindi ko na po pinansin.
sige,
Kasi-
no problem. Sige.
Thank you.
Mhm. So,
yung kay Ayers, I'll pay that
sige, sure
on
bro.
Tuesday.
No problem. Yes, sige, no problem. So, una muna, you'd assign kung ano yung gusto mong i-optimize. Okay? Profit is practically you're telling her na I want to, yung the variation that gives you the more profit, right?
Goal.
Yung goal,
Okay.
variation that gives you more profit. Most of the time, siya yung nire-recommend kasi,
Ito ba conversion rate is the profit din?
no, not necessarily. Your product can convert better, pero sabihin natin, it uses up more ads. So, sometimes, conversion rate doesn't necessarily mean na mas marami kang profit. May factor yun eh. Gets? Kasi
So,
yung,
profit is also influenced by ads.
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, kaya you're asking if conversion rate is equal to profit, right? So that's the reason may pwede magkaroon ka ng disconnect. Your product may be converting better, but since that variation also uses up more ads, it might be less profitable. So that's the reason why you have this option to either do conversion rate. Sessions is the number of people going into your product line. So most of the time, for example, maybe if you're testing something that is affected by sessions, like main image, maybe you would want to
Images.
improve for this, right? Sessions.
Okay.
If you're testing something na parang mainly affects conversion rate, like for example, if testing image number 2, image number 4 descriptions, right? So in a sense, parang it's very small variation to affect profit, but I might be able to measure it better using conversion rate, then I might be able to use this. Most of the time though, it's recommended that you test profit just because you always optimize your profit naman when you're running a product. So usually, the reason on why you just want to do this too is because maybe mas madaling makakuha na result pag iba yan yung ginamit ko, or maybe talagang dyan mas ma-effect yung variation na tinitest ko. Pero yes, this is where you set that, right? And then of course, the confidence level is the higher you go, the more accurate na this variation actually won. Pero the thing here is that the higher the confidence level, mas mahaba yung testing time na kailangan mo. Most of the time, they recommend 90%. Kumbaga, 1 out of 10 chance that it fails is good enough a chance. Parang yan yung balance of length versus yung actual na accuracy. Okay. So, this is one of the tests that we have run a couple of months ago actually.
Total
Yeah.
gastos.
No, parang revenue. They're trying to see kung because of the testing, you have managed to increase your revenue by this much, pero the measure is not that accurate. To be
Okay.
honest. Parang they're just trying to make the user feel better. The mathematics, when I was tracking that, the mathematics there is parang, okay, lahat ng revenue for the products that you're testing, nilalagay nila dyan. That's not accurate. Okay, pero they rotate it. So, ito yung, on the daily basis, if you'd see, ginagawa nila, una muna, 26, ito yung variation. 27, ito yung variation. Right? So, on a daily basis, nire-retake nila yan. And then, they calculate yung results mo. And then, somehow, makakita sila ng pattern siya. So, for example, this result that you've run, earlier pala may option ka how running it on how many iterations minimum. It's set by 7 as default, 4 as default. Usually, personally, I set it at 7 as default. Minimum of 7 days. Para each variation would have each day of a week in it. Kumbaga, each of them would have one Monday, one Tuesday, one Wednesday, one Thursday. Because sometimes that matters eh.
Iteration. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the reason why usually when I test, it's a minimum of 14 days. Right?
So, iteration is 7 days.
Kumbaga, the number of iteration is 7 days. Which means na the test at the minimum would run at 14 days. It's not something I have tested if it actually matters, but it just makes sense to me na sometimes kasi there are days of the week na might sell better than others eh. So making sure that each of your variation actually covers one day a week each might make a note. And then they would give you this graph, which is where your data would come in. So for example, most of the time, when I test the main image, which is what I'm testing here. So actually what I'm testing here is this. What I tested here pala is this. It's a main image test. A test whereas ito yung main image ko versus a test na ito yung main image ko. The reason on why I tested this is because on the other products na I've run, this actually performed better. This like variation of the image, right? So if you'd see, technically yung binago ko. By right, ito unang dalawa binago ko kasi I shifted, right? I shifted. Pero at the end of the day, parang I'm assuming that the second image doesn't matter here. Kasi pag pumasok ka na sa listing yung total image computation, yung makikita mo naman silang pito eh. So practically what I'm testing is this versus this.
So, ang goal mo dyan is profit,
Profit.
hindi session.
Yeah, hindi sessions. Actually, sessions might be a side goal that we want. Pero the beauty here is this product is converting well enough such that I can do profit. The problem kasi sometimes, like I mentioned, sometimes may factor yung how long would it take for you to test it. So if the product is new, it's not selling that much, the profit metric would be very noisy. On that case, you might want to optimize for session. But this one is high-performing product. Maraming sales siya. So in a sense, the profit metric may even out yung noise on the longest time. So if this is new, if this is a new product and it's not selling much on a daily basis, it's neither profitable pa, then probably on that case, if I want to test a main image, I would try sessions. But this one, that's a reason, there's justification on why it's profit. So if you'd see, average daily sales, full image performed better by 82% significance.
Hindi ko magets yung graph na yan. So, ito yung full image mo. You scattered.
Yeah, I just named it so that madali ko siya ma-identify. I named this as full image
Full.
scattered.
So, hindi. Yung label. Hindi ko magets yun sa label.
Yeah.
So,
Full image is the result ng full
Okay.
image scattered. Okay? Ano
Yung
hindi mo
click.
i-hint? Huh?
yung conversion.
This one, sales. So how many units I sold on average for that variation?
Okay. Ano tong significance?
So, una muna, what do you think this means? 23.714.
Thousands ng sales?
No,
Ay,
that's
average.
units.
Units sold. Okay.
So, units of sales per, ano yan? Do you think it's for the entire testing period?
Day.
Per day. So, on average, on this
On
variation,
average, okay.
it sells 23 units a day.
Okay.
On average, it sells 21. What do you think this means? 82%.
Yun nga dyan ako confused kasi i-set na 90%.
Yes.
Pero,
Hindi. Una muna. Huwag mo consider 90%. So, what do you think it means? At the most basis. At the most basic.
I don't get it.
It means na it's 82% confident na this is actually performing better than this one.
Okay, but hindi na lang itong label nandito.
Ha? Well, hindi ko alam kung ba't niya dyan nilagay yan. I'm not sure. But you have a good ano. Pero yeah, still. So parang, even though average nito is mas mataas sa kanya, kumbaga in-average na yung how many days nag-run yung test na to. The test ran for 28 days. So 14 rotations. Actually, I did 14 rotations sa kanya. Like I mentioned, minimum I do 14, this one I did 28. Even sa 28 days, this is performing higher on average. He's just 82% confident na it performs better. Kasi ang lapit ng average value niya.
Okay.
Right? Makikita mo yan usually, pag malapit yung average value nila, mababa yung confidence level niya. Right? Kasi that means na mayroong room for noise pa rin. Whereas for example dito, look at this metric. Hulihin ko yun kasi that's one. So this one is average daily sessions. Like I mentioned, most of the time when you're doing main image, maybe you would want to optimize for this. 304 sessions per day.
So pinapakita naman lahat
Lahat.
ng graphs.
So,
Pero anong purpose ng pag-set mo ng goal?
On what would matter. So for example, even this one, look at this, it's 99% confident. Pero since I didn't optimize for this, kahit na 99% confidence na siya, hindi pa niya tinipigil yung testing. Kasi the profit, which is what I'm optimizing for, is just at 80% confidence. Right? So yeah. So look at this one. This is the one interesting one. Okay, una muna nanalo. The reason on why nanalo yung profit is because at the end of the day, this is 92% confidence that this variation is producing $60 of profit a day, whereas yung scattered image is 44. How many percent yan? Increase. Can you calculate on the top of your head? That represents roughly a 50% increase. So you see, 50% increase. So just the type of image, just converting
Ano yung 50?
scattered circle, daily profit
44.
average. Daily profit average. How many percent increase in daily profit yan? Yeah, computation is 60 divided by 40, right? Ganun compute ang profit. So, pero practically what this means is that just changing yung image mo, just changing,
60 divided by 40.
yeah, 1.5, right?
Okay.
50% increase in profit.
50%.
Just changing yung image mo from this to this, it represents a 50% increase in profit. Parang instead na kumikita ka ng 100, kikita ka ng 150 just with this one. So, kita mo, can you see the gravity of how crazy that is? Like, the kind of image has that much effect. So yun yung the reason on why we're testing, right? Pero look at this. This is a more interesting concept. Look at this one. This is the average number of session, meaning the number of people who actually click on your listing to view it. Do you see in scattered circle? A lot of people actually views it.
Yeah.
So mas marami actually nag-view sa kanya.
And yet,
Mas profitable yung full image mo. Right? See? Bakit? Kasi yung full image mo is converting higher. And malamang mas konti yung ads niya. See, small factors like that. Ideally, what you can find, the reason why we're still testing this is ideally what I find is a image version na mas mataas yung daily version. Mas mataas both yung average daily session and conversion rate because that would mean na mas lalaki pa to. Pero that's the interesting part. So what it does, practically these are the data you have. Pero what it does is that it continuously optimize for this one until such time makita niyo relevant na siya and then tsaka niyo tigil yung test and then showing your results. So for this one, it determined na ang nanalo between the two is this image, which is the reason why ito pa rin yung ginagamit. Okay? Okay.
how do you say na change na split
Hmm?
officially yung
I-email ka naman niya announcing na yun ay nanalo. So parang it will give you a notification that the image 2 had won. We have found the winner.
you'll manually edit it in the
Afterwards, i-maintain na niya. May access siya, di ba? So parang sinasop-sop niya. So yung nanalo, yun na yung lalagay niya as
siya
final one.
nalalagay.
Okay. So, on the process looks like this. So for example, I want to run another test now. Kasi I had new set of images for this one. So you go to products. And a good internet would be nice here kasi kailangan natin mag-upload ng mga malalaking images, unfortunately. You go to the product na gusto mong i-optimize, A-B test, right? This one, ang gusto kong i-optimize again, at i-test again are images. So the product name, I'll just put STK005. I'm changing, and then parang wala pa tayong standard ito. This is one of the things we can build. Images, kasi I want to test the images, right? Unit cost is the same, pareho lang. And then i-outline na yung variation mo. The variation A versus variation B. I'll put this as original image, which is yung current na image na niya. And I want to test it with the new set of image that I get with new set of professional images that I got from Ariel. So these images are actually like personal, mga images lang na kinuha namin, I think, So
Okay.
now, I want to test kung may factor ba talaga. Hopefully, may factor talaga if the images are professionally taken. Right? So, yun yung test ko. And then, yeah, so that's the reason. The reason I named this is para madaling ita. Okay? Original versus professional. At yung mas maganda, amateur. Amateur versus professional. What you would want to happen ideally is for each test, isa lang yung nag-vary sa'yo. For you to be able to conclude na yun talaga yung nangyari. So that's the reason kung bakit kung isang main image lang tinetest mo, dapat yung ibabaguhin mo. Right? What I would do now, somehow break the rule kasi ibabaguhin ko lahat itong image 2 to 7. Ideally, I would want to change image 1 nga, pero I feel that that would be lalo na inconclusive kasi this one actually matters. So I'll just swap professional images of image 2 to 7 and then see if it would matter in terms of result. So I'll X all of this. And then upload yung mga professional images na I ask Aryan to capture. Maybe only photography, product photography, tent shoot, STK005. Ito yung mga images niya. Bago. Okay. So, isa-swapping ko lang yan. So, I'll maintain the first image. So, by standard, ito lagi ginagawa kong second image. Open. Tama? Shit. Kung amateur ba na bago ko? Amateur na bago ko. Ngayon, ito na yung professional. Yeah, amateur. So, same type ng photo. Different lang ng ano. So, the third image is yung scattered. Upload natin yung scattered shot niya. Okay. Upload na natin yung scattered shot niya. Ay, yung product description sa niya.
Sabi yung difference ng amateur. Parehas na.
Yeah. So, in a sense, parang so, yung type. Ang ginagawa ko, para masabi lang na I still maintain yung one variable is at least yung position niya at saka yung type of image is pareho. So if you'd see, yung second image ko is scattered. Ang nilagay ko sa second image is scattered shot. Third image ko is yung in-outline ko in the grid form yung product. Outline pa rin. Fourth image ko is yung size. Lagay ko dito yung size shot. And inches. This one.
Inches pa rin yung sa amateur.
Inches. Yeah, US to, they use inches. Hand shot. Tayo natin. Fourth is hand shot. Tingin ko mas maganda itong hand shot nito kasi well anyway, it's one of the things you're testing. And then yung huling dalawa are lifestyle photos. So I'll just add lifestyle photo ng laptop. Sige, lagay natin yung laptop shot dito. Ito. And then yung last one, lifestyle shot ng phone. This, actually kinuha rin, si Arian din yung kumuha nito. Pero these are the set of images na kinuha niya nung she's just starting to take photos for us. Versus ito yung 10 iterations na yan. So in a sense, nag-improve na yung photo taking niya into the kind that we like. So in a sense, hindi siya amateur. Parang these are like the first iteration ng professional product photography versus 10 iteration. Last. Mga ba nilagay ko sa last natin? I think ito yung ginagawa kong huli natin. So actually, what I'm testing here is I want to test the previous set of photos that I usually have her take for the standard sticker listing versus the current set of photos I have her take for the standard sticker listing. Kasi itong image na to, hinak ko lang yan. Ako mismo yung naglagay niya. I just put the white background and everything. And then see if there would be any room for improvement It's not the best test. I assume that this won't really affect the conversion rate. Ideally, what we really need to still test for is the main image and find a reason kung why it worked or why it doesn't. Pero just so that I can show you a sample of testing, and just because don't have an outline, makikita na natin siya. So, I'll change a couple of things. First is, ito yung mga items na pwede mo rin baguhin at the same time.
Or you don't want to test multiple things at the
At
same
once.
time.
Then, that's the first rule of A/B testing. You only test one thing at once. 7 days at most. Profit, that's good enough for me. Actually, dito, I can actually do conversion rate. I think I'll try to optimize for conversion rate. I think profit would be too noisy. Kasi I'm testing images 2 to 7 and they won't really affect profit that much. So I'll test for conversion rate instead. Yeah. And then save and run. So now it's running. So on the top of my head, what are the OKR items here? One is, by right, we actually need to test everything about the listing. Images, copy, bullets, description, etc. For all of the product lines, for all of the market. And actually be able to track, one, what kind of tests had we run for each product line, for each market, and two, what is the current conversion rate and how much has it improved. So in a sense, we don't have an active process now of tracking what product has been tested and what tests we ran, and including the result that we got from it. In a sense, what you want is to build a process such that we can go through this optimization very fast, optimizing the high impact items first, a process that actually allows you to optimize the high impact process first.
Optimize.
The high impact things first. Usually, ang mga high impact is yung main image mo, title mo, etc. And then parang build a list of comprehensive testings for all of the products. So, currently, yun yung wala pa. So for now, for example, ito yung ginagawa ko. Once I have a test that I want in mind, pupunta ako rito and then I test it. Pero this is not really optimal kasi ang bagal niya. Right? Yeah, meron kang tanong sa split testing. Pero this is how we run the split test. And now, ang beauty nito is after that, in the next 14 days, I'll just follow. Wala na akong gagawin dito for the next 14 days. Balang mga, sometimes even for a month.
Why for a month?
Sometimes yung significance niya yung masyadong malapit such that it doesn't matter. So minsan minaabot ng isang buwan yung testing mo.
Hanggang sa maabot yung rotation mo, hindi niya sisunod yun. Ang sinusunod niya, yung confidence level yun.
Oo. Hindi, susundin niya na ito minimum. Kasi sometimes,
minimum, okay.
yung confidence level na yun, ma-achieve na niya even at just 4 iterations. Pero if you say na minimum mo 7, hindi niya i-conclude yung test until umabot ka ng 7. Pero pagdating ng 7, hindi niya abot yung confidence level. I-run niya yun hanggang ma-attempt yung significance mo. So sometimes you have tests that runs at 1 month before niya ma-achieve yung significance. Right? Yep. Yeah, so that's it.